Have you ever had that feeling when you don't really lack friends, and yet you long for someone who truly understands your love for an old book? In 1949, an American woman wrote a letter to a small bookstore in London, and that single letter began a 20-year correspondence across the Atlantic. There were no video calls, no instant replies, only the long, quiet wait for letters, and the overwhelming joy of opening a parcel when it finally arrived. By the time she eventually made it to that street, everything had already changed. And yet she wrote, "If you happen to pass by 84 Charing Cross Road, please give it a kiss for me. I owe it so much." The book is called 84 Charing Cross Road. There are only two main characters. One is Helene Hanff, a struggling writer and script editor living in New York. She loved books with an almost reckless passion, but was perpetually short of money. The other is Frank Dole, the chief buyer at Marks & Co., a second-hand bookshop located at 84 Charing Cross Road in London. He was the very picture of an English gentleman, quiet, precise, reserved yet deeply gentle toward books and the people who loved them. It all began on the 5th of October, 1949. Not long after the war, Helene had searched every second-hand bookstore in New York, trying in vain to find several out-of-print classics she longed for: poems by Keats, essays by Walter Scott, and the letters of Charles Lamb. In desperation, she noticed a small advertisement in the newspaper and, with little hope, wrote her first letter to a bookstore she had never heard of, thousands of miles away in London. In her characteristically blunt tone, she wrote, "Gentlemen, in the autumn of 1949, a very good friend of mine gave me a list of books to buy. I have been trying to get them for the past year without success. I wonder if you can help me. Yours faithfully, Helene Hanff." To her surprise, Frank replied quickly, in a tone as formal as an official document, "Dear Madam, we have in stock." Helene burst out laughing and immediately wrote back, saying she hoped that the word "Madam" meant something different in England than it did in America. From that moment on, Frank's greeting slowly softened from "Dear Madam" to "Dear Miss Hanff," and eventually to the warm and familiar "Dear Helene." Watching this very British gentleman gradually thaw is both charming and quietly heartbreaking. Over the next 20 years, their letters became a long, gentle conversation across the ocean. Frank never wasted words, yet he treated helping Helene find her books as the most important task of his life.